Welcome back to Conisty Park. My name is Trent Goldsmith, still with you here for the start of Game 2 between the Bruins and the Yellowjackets this evening. The Bruins were able to take Game 1 in a gutsy 3-2 defensive win. Were able to put up 3 runs in 1 inning and escape with a 3-2 win over the Yellowjackets. Jason Quillen on the mound to start Game 2 for the Bruins. Bryson French the other side of that battery. And we're here started. Quillen's first pitch is a ball, and he's facing Jacob Hill, leading off again for the Yellowjackets, but batting DH and not catching in Game 2. So 2 different catchers that we will see here in Game 2. It's Tim Bobick behind the plate for the Yellowjackets, and Bryson French, obviously, as we've seen, behind the plate for the Bruins. Jason Quillen is a breaking ball dominant pitcher. I'm pretty sure 60% of his pitches are curveballs. Sometimes has control issues, but he's gotten that under control so far this season. That 2-seam fastball goes too far inside, and there's a leadoff walk for Hild. Gunnar Gregg up again for the Yellowjackets after a leadoff walk. Gregg went 0 for 3 in the first game, so still looking for his first hit on the day. French tried to catch that one out in front, but it's in there for ball 1. Quillen has to find the strike zone here. Just too low. It's a 2-0 count. Slow start for Jason Quillen. Quillen, 3-0 count now. 8.25 ERA, 12 innings pitched on the season. And has walked 2 straight batters to begin this game. Not the ideal start. It's going to mean an early mound visit. These were successful for the Bruins in the first game. Helped the pitchers calm down and get out of a lot of jams. The Yellowjackets had a runner in scoring position for all 7 at-bats in the first game and were only able to score 2 runs. The Bruins defense made several plays. The pitching was great in clutch situations and pressure situations, and were able to get off the field each time with very limited damage. They obviously are facing an early test here right now in Game 2 with 2 straight walks to start the game. Just after daylight savings time, it's going to be lighter outside for longer than it has been. It's kind of nice for it being light outside past 7 o'clock now, but it is pretty rough in the morning when it's pitch dark at 7:30, 8 o'clock. But I think I'd take that trade, especially here in baseball season. Connor Gephardt now up for the Yellowjackets. He had quite the first game. He went 2 for 2 with 2 doubles and a walk. Two RBIs to go with it. That's a pass ball, so runners will advance to second and third, none down, and it's another ball pitched by Quillen. Very, very tough start. Quillen and the Bruins face an early big jam. Quillen just has to settle down now. Find the strike zone. Gephardt looking to do damage early. That one misses the zone for ball 2. That one's down. That one's also caught ball. Jason Quillen is beside himself right now. I think he thought the last 2 pitches were strikes, and honestly, from up here, they looked like strikes. But 3-0 count again. There it is. Maybe that'll start something and begin the rhythm. 3-1 count against Gephardt. Runners on second and third. Does not find the outside corner. Gephardt takes his base. And the bases are loaded. 3 straight walks to start this game. Anthony Silvera Jr. I don't think he thought he'd be up in a situation like this in the first inning. But with no outs, he's looking out at 3 teammates on base. That one does not find the outside corner. It's ball 1. Hit sharply. Gomez. Medrano. And they got the out at second. Run does come in. I think Kennedy's foot came off first base. It looked like the throw beat him there. So Silvera Jr. will reach first. And now the umpires are going to have a quick conference about that play at first. The throw beat it there. It just matters if Kennedy's foot came off the bag or not. And it'll stand as called. Silvera Jr. safe at first base. So he gets an RBI on the fielder's choice. One down here in the top of the first inning. 1 run is scored. Runners on the corners for Tim Bobek. Bobek came in late in the game as a pinch hitter, but came up empty. He's 0 for 1. There goes Silvera Jr. The throw goes down, too short. And Greg stays at third. So runners on second and third again for the Yellowjackets. It's a 2-0 count to Tim Bobek. In there for strike 1. The Bruins were able to get out several jams in the first game. Faced with a big one here to start game 2. In there for strike 2. Maybe Jason Quillen is starting to find his rhythm. That would be big. Strikeout here would be huge. The 2-2 from JQ. That was my chance. That was right back at me. If I had a glove on, that was for sure being caught. I misjudged that. Man, wow, that was probably the best chance I'll ever get at catching a foul ball. Messed up that a lot. Man, I'm really disappointed in myself right now. I've done this this is my 3rd year doing this, and I've never had one like that. I mean, man, it's still a 2-2 count. Quillen delivers, and he strikes him out. Big strikeout for JQ. 2 down. I mean, that was inches away from my hand. If I won't get over that one for any time. I might lose sleep over it. JQ delivers ball 1 to Mitchell Rover. Rover went 1 for 2 with a walk in the first game. It's looking at a 1-0 count right now. That's in there for strike 1. If Quillen can get out of this inning with 1 run, that would be huge. Just like they did in the first game, limit the damage. That one's on the outside edge for strike 2. Silvera Jr. off of second. Gregg off of third. It's a 1-2 count. Yellowjackets have scored 1. Quillen looking to get out of it. Here delivers. And that one's hit and will land and will score 2 more. Rover taking second. And he'll get there in time. It's 3-0. Yellowjackets lead in the top of the first. Bruins so close to getting out of this inning with 1 run.
Now batting for the Yellowjackets, second baseman Garrett Long.
Garrett Long now up, looking to keep it going for the Yellowjackets with Rover on second base. Off-speed pitch, doesn't get back inside. It's a 1-0 count. That one's not going to quite get up here. I mean, it might on the bounce, but it won't. Out of play. I was ready for that one. I'll be ready the rest of the game, I promise. It's a 1-1 count. It's a Garrett Long. Hard grounder. That one's going to get through. Rover headed home. The throw will be cut off. And it's an RBI single for Garrett Long. The lead is up to 4-0. Yellowjackets have already doubled their run count from game 1. And it's just the first inning. Brings up Tyler Dehan.
Now batting for the Yellowjackets, right fielder Tyler Dehan.
Went 1 for 4 in the first game. Looks at strike 1. Someone is warming up in the Bruins bullpen. Long was turning to go, and he will. The throw from French. In time, and he got him. Good throw, good tag by Medrano. And the Bruins get out of the inning, but not before allowing 4 runs, but they have plenty of time left of baseball. We're headed to the bottom of the first inning. The Yellowjackets lead 4-0. Welcome back to the bottom of the first inning. The Bruins gave up 4 runs in that top of the first, but have plenty of chances left to score some runs for themselves, starting with Sam Gonzalez leading off on the offensive side.
Leading off
Arion Gibson is the pitcher for the Yellowjackets. Gibson, 3.38 ERA, 5 1/3 pitched. That one's strike one for him. It's a busy week in Bruin Nation. The men's basketball team left this morning to head to Minneapolis. That one's high to left field. So Vera Jr. is under it, and he'll catch it for out number one. Men's basketball team left this morning to go to Minneapolis to compete in the national tournament hosted by Crown College. They enter as the 7 seed. Will play Spurgeon College, the 2 seed, on Thursday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. It is in Minneapolis, so the times posted on the NCCAA website are Central Time. So in Eastern Time, 1:30 p.m. on Thursday is Game 1 at Nationals for the Bruins basketball team. It's been a magical season. I mean, they've really turned it around from the first half. Won the region tournament a couple weeks ago. Looked to finish the job. They weren't able to last year. Had a great run, had a great chance at it. But now this year they come back, especially those returning basketball players, have a mission on mind. Back here at Conacy Park, Zay Brandt up to bat. Early 3-0 count. Zay Brandt was the one to hit the 2 RBI single to give the Bruins the lead in Game 1, which ended up being the game-winning hit. And he's going to take his free base in his first at-bat of Game 2. Conley Burke still waiting for his first big hit of the day. Went 0 for 1 and was walked twice in Game 1. Still hasn't found that big contact that we've seen in basically every game so far. He looks at ball 1 outside. Zay Brandt leading off first base. Cody Kirkpatrick on deck. Here's the 1-0. Zay Brandt's going. Good jump by Brandt. The throw will not be in time. Zay Brandt takes second. Bobeck doesn't quite have the same kind of arm as we saw in the first game with Hild. It's also a great jump by Brandt. So it's a runner in scoring position for Conley Burke. It's a 1-1 count. Gibson delivers outside for ball 2. Here's the 2-1. Inside pitch. Doesn't find that inner edge. Ball 3. Big hitters count for Burke. Coach Morrison says get ready to go. Burke just needs to drive one here. Every run matters here early especially. 3-1 count, 1 down. Zay Brandt dancing on second. Gibson delivers. That one was high and outside and barely touched the strike zone, even if it did. That was called strike 2 by the umpire. It's a full count now. Full count. Gibson against Burke. Brandt goes. Brandt had a great jump. Hit right off the middle, and Brandt's going to score. RBI single by Conley Burke. That's what the Bruins need to get going here in Game 2. That was a great jump by Zay Brandt on second base, making sure he was going to get home safely. Now that brings up Cody Kirkpatrick, who's also looking for his first big piece of contact today. Batting DH in his second game. Hits it high to right field. Dehan's under it. Dehan barely has to move. He'll squeeze it for out number 2. Brings up Caden Kennedy. He went 0 for 3 in Game 1. Burke leading off first. 2 down, bottom of the first inning. Up out of the zone for ball 1. Angelo Gomez on deck. Checking back Burke. That was close. What a check back by Gibson. Gephardt got the tag down too. And Burke gets back to first by the skin of his teeth. He is leading far off. Swung through. Big cut by Kennedy. Doesn't find contact. The 1-1. Off-speed pitch. Out of the strike zone, ball 2. Checking back Burke again. Another quality check back. That one wasn't as close as the last one, but still close nonetheless. Kennedy, 2-1 count. Burke is going. Kennedy swings at it. Gathered by Long. Long throw to first base is there. What a play by Garrett Long at second base. And that ends the inning. The Bruins get a run back, so we're going to the top of the second inning. It's a 4-1 ball game.
Discount. Learn more details at bjubruins.com/camps.
Welcome back to the top of the second inning. Yellowjackets with a 4-1 lead. Defiance College is part of the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference of NAIA, where they compete against teams like Aquinas, Concordia, which Bruin Nation might be familiar with from last baseball season, Cornerstone, Lords, Cleary, and more. If you're around from where I'm from in Detroit, Michigan, you're probably familiar with most of the schools that they play. A lot of NAIA schools up there, a lot of quality baseball teams up there. Concordia was one of the top teams in the NCCAA up until, I guess, this year. Bad memories at Conacy Park with Concordia from last season. Very, very quality baseball team. Here's a 1-2 count by Quillen, and Quillen gets a leadoff strikeout, scooped up, and French will throw over to first base. And Kita strikes out for out number 1. Or that was Dehan because last inning ended on a pickoff at second base.
Now batting for the Yellowjackets, shortstop
Craig Kita getting the start in game 2 today at shortstop. And according to the stats that we have, he has had 1 at-bat all season long. So 1-0 count to him. Off-speed pitch. Beautiful pitch. Gets in there for strike 1. Kita's a junior from Wickliffe, Ohio. That one's in there for strike 2. And I think Quillen might have found his rhythm. The 1-2 from Quillen. Slapped in the shallow right field. That one's going to get down. Kita might try to take second. No, he's going to stay at first after his helmet fell off. So a 1-out single from Greg Kita. Preceding the top of the lineup, and Jacob Hild coming up next.
Now batting for the Yellowjackets, designated hitter Jacob Hill.
Hild was walked in his first at-bat. He's one of the 3 leadoff walks that was in the first inning. So 2 innings, 2 at-bats for Hild. Hits that straight up in the air. Madrano's going to go over and grab it for out number 2. 2 down now for Gunnar Gregg, who was also walked in his first at-bat.
Now batting for the Yellowjackets, third baseman Gunnar Gregg.
Gunnar Gregg really hasn't gotten that much action at third base today. He's been there all day long. And I don't think the Bruins have hit any towards third base all day long, actually. At least that I can recall. So no 1 count. Kita leading off first base. He checks Kita back. The shadows over there might play some games, which they did right there, so Kita's got to be on his toes. The shadow and the sun going from first base to the pitcher's mound might make things hard to see, which it happened as I was talking that Quillen couldn't see the ball coming back at him. It's happened twice today now, where I speak things into existence. That one's hit high and shallow right field. Gonzalez coming in on it. Gonzalez doesn't grab it. He can't bring it down. Kita's rounding third, headed home. The throw. Bryson French. Can he get the tag down? He can't. Kita's going to be safe at home. 5-1 ball game. Gregg all the way to second. The throw was there in time, just a tiny bit off, and it made French's tag very hard to make. Almost a great recovery play by Gonzalez after missing that pop fly. I mean, he had a ways to run for it. Was not the easiest play to make, but another free base given by the Bruins. Good pitch by Quillen, 0-1 count. That one's in the dirt. Good block by French behind the plate. One count, 2 down. Gregg off of second base. Quillen delivers. That one's low. Good reaction time to move the glove over by French. Had to go across his body on that spot. 2-1 count. Off-speed pitch. Doesn't find the strike zone. That one looked pretty. 3-1 count. That one's hit in the Bruins dugout. I'm pretty sure everyone was able to get all the way in time. It's now a full count, 2 outs. 4 of the 5 runs for the Yellowjackets so far today. That was really loud in my headset. Another plane flying overhead. And that one's going to be a walk for Connor Gephardt again. So 2 at-bats, 2 walks for Gephardt in game 2. Got to reset my whole head after that plane just flew by. 4 of the 5 runs so far in Game 2 have been with 2 outs for the Yellowjackets. Silvera Jr. up. Reached on a fielder's choice last time, which scored the first run. That one's hit hard to left field, over the head of Brandt, to the wall. 2 are going to score. Silvera Jr. might be pushing 3. He'll stop at 2, stumble. There's a play at the plate, and it's not going to be in time. So this lead has inflated to 7-1 for the Yellowjackets. And 6 now, 6 2-out runs. So now Tim Bobek is up for the Yellowjackets and can still keep it going. That one's in there for strike 1 by Quillen. Silvera Jr. leading off second. Bobek struck out in his first at bat. Bobek was out number 2 in the first inning, which then was followed by an explosion of offense. And now was a chance to do some 2-out damage himself here in the second inning. That one's yanked outside. It's a 1-2 count. The 1-2. Grounder. Tough hop for Burke. Gomez comes and gets it. Gomez stops him from going to the outfield. And Bobek's going to reach on a single. Courtesy runner will come in. Number 20, Dylan Barger. So the courtesy runner we saw in the first game, too.
Now batting for the Yellowjackets, center fielder Mitchell Rover.
Rover hit the double in his first at bat. Still 2 outs in the top of the second inning. It's outside. Barger took a lot of space off of first base. Checking back, Barger at first base. Bruins just have to get out of this top of the second. Hit hard, up the middle. That one's going to get through, and that one's going to score another run. It's an RBI single for Mitchell Rover. It is now 8-1. 2 runners on, 2 outs. And the amount of 2-out runs continues to grow. French will have a meeting with Quillen on the mound. It's Garrett Long. Garrett Long is up, singled in his first at bat. A couple RBIs to go with it. Swung through that pitch for strike 1. There's one person warming up in the Bruins bullpen, which we'll probably see at the top of the third, unless this one goes any longer. That one's in there for strike two. Quillen with an 0-2 count. Oh, 2 count. Grounder. Burke just tries to knock it down. And Long is going to get to first base, and the bases are loaded. That's another tough hop for Burke. And this inning continues for the Yellowjackets. Tyler Dehan struck out to start the inning. And he's back up again. Swung through that one. The last 6 batters for the Yellowjackets have gone double, walk, double, single, single, single. Dehan does go on that pitch, so it's a 0-2 count. Quillen, 1 strike away from ending the inning again. Can he do it? Can he do it now? Here's the 0-2. That one's hit. Good stop by Gomez. And he can't get the out at second. Another run's going to come in the score. 2 runs score on that. And the lead continues to inflate. It's 10-1. And we're going to have a pitching change in the second inning. The bats have gotten red hot for the Yellowjackets. Conveniently located off of I-385 and just 5 miles from downtown, the Courtyard Greenville Haywood Mall Hotel wants to give you 10% off the best available daily rate. Their on-site bistro serves Starbucks, breakfast, and dinner with a seasonal outdoor pool with fire pit and grill available. You can learn more at Marriott.com. We'll be back just after the pitching change. Back from the pitching change, it is Curtis West in for the Bruins on the mound. Curtis West has 3 appearances, 2 1/3 inning pitched, 0 earned runs. So all 3 runs that were scored that he gave up were on someone else's account. So he has given up 0 earned runs. The runner on second, I believe, would be another earned or an unearned run if he scores. But obviously West has a different idea. It's an 0-1 count He wants to get out of this. He did indeed swing for strike 2. So Curtis West, 2 pitches, 2 strikes to start his day. Oh-2 count from West. Barely fouled off by Kita to stay alive. Oh-2 count again. Curtis West trying to get out of the inning. He delivers to Kita. Outside for ball 1. It's a 1-2 count, 2 runners on, 2 down, top of the second inning. West delivers. Slap down the first base line, but foul. It's a 1-2 count again. West continues to battle with Kita. He delivers. Finds that outside corner for strike 3. So West faces 1 batter and strikes out 1 batter to end the inning. The Yellowjackets added 6 runs to their lead in the second inning. Lots of baseball to play, but the Bruins need to answer back quickly and get back in this game very soon.
Shortstop, Angelo Gomez.
It's Angelo Gomez leading off for the Bruins in the bottom of the second inning. Looks at strike 1. The Bruins have a lot of work to do. Find themselves in a 9-run hole after the Yellowjackets exploded in the first and second inning. Scored 4 in the first, 6 in the second. Gomez pop up in the center field. Rover coming in and Rover grabbing it for out number 1. Brings up Matt Carroll. Didn't start in game 1, but has been a normal starter for the Bruins in center field today.
Now batting for the Bruins, center fielder Matt Carroll.
Carroll's a great starting pitcher for the Bruins. Very strong, can pitch into the 90s. But when he's not pitching, you can usually find him in center field. First pitch he sees is fouled out of play for strike 1. That one finds the outside corner for strike 2. Great pitch by Gibson. The 0-2 count retires Matt Carroll in 3 pitches. 2 down in the bottom of the second. Brings up Bryson French, the man behind the plate here for the Bruins in game 2.
Catcher Bryson French.
Back into the net. 0-1 count against French. That one's outside, too far outside. It's ball 1. In the dirt, 2-1. Bryson French bats .211 on the season. He has hit a home run, 3 RBIs. He can pack a punch. It is also very nice seeing him back in a Bruins uniform. I think he was on the original first team of Bruins baseball in the spring of 2021. Back here again. Looks at that one up in the air for ball 4, so he's going to take his 2-out walk. Brings up Elijah Medrano. He gets the nod to start in game 2.
Second baseman, Elijah Medrano.
And it's Gabe Gearhart coming in to run as a courtesy runner for Bryson French. Finally starting to get them straight. Gabe Gearhart wears number 7. Sam wears number 28. So now it's Gearhart leading off of first base. Elijah Medrano up at plate. Checking Gearhart back right off the back. That's usually just what you do when a courtesy runner comes on, especially if there's no one else on base. You make sure that runner's on their toes. The 0-1. Now it's a 1-0. Apologize for that mistake on the count. It's a 1-0 count now. Medrano looks at that one in for ball 2. Top of the lineup is due up after Medrano. Medrano looks at that one up in the air for ball 3. So Bruins looking for some 2-out damage themselves. Medrano with a patient at bat right now. I do not expect him to have the green light on this, but he might. 3-0 count. He takes it for strike 1. Medrano now with a 3-1 count. Swings through that one for strike 2. Big cut. Barely missed by Medrano. Full count, 2 outs. Gearhart's going to get a head start. And that one's going to be high and in. Medrano will take his free base. So 2 straight walks by Gibson with 2 outs. Brings up Sam Gonzalez, the top of the order for the Bruins.
Now batting for the Bruins, right fielder Sam Gonzalez.
Flew out to start the game for the Bruins offensively. That one find the high end corner of the strike zone for strike 1. Bruins dugout did not like that. That was really close to the hands. Big leadoff for Medrano off of first base. I don't think Gibson's worried about him over there. That one's high and in, out of the strike zone for ball 1. 1-1 count. Bruins continue to be patient. That one's inside for ball 2. Gibson has seemed to lost his rhythm. Two 2-1 count. 2 runners on, 2 outs. That one's high in the air. Gonzalez looks at it. And Bobek's going to go out to talk to Gibson. Again, 9 2-out runs have been scored by the Yellowjackets in this game. 9 of their 10 with 2 outs. So the Bruins could ideally have the same kind of thing here and go on a 2-out run. Another hitter's count for Gonzalez. We saw Madrano swing through a 3-1 pitch last at bat. So Gonzalez was probably looking to swing too. Again, Gonzalez with a huge lead off first base. Gearhart off of second. Here's a 3-1. That one may have been ball 4, but it's fouled out of play. And now Gonzalez faces a full count. So full count, 2 outs. Runners will have a head start again. How's this one going to end? 3-2. Gibson delivers. Runners go. Another one above the hands, and that one's popped up straight in the infield. And Gunnar Gregg's going to come make the first play of the day for himself and get out of the inning for the Yellowjackets. It is still 10-1, headed to the top of the 3rd inning.
Proud partner of the Bob Jones University Bruins. Chick-fil-A Tables is located just a few miles from BJU on Wade Hampton Boulevard. Check them out today. Leading off for the Yellowjackets, designated hitter Jacob Hill.
Welcome back to the top of the 3rd inning. Jacob Hill leading off for the Yellowjackets. They have exploded in the first couple of innings, scoring 10 runs. They're 4 in the first, 6 in the second. And Hill looks to start it up again. Curtis West came in to end last inning, saw one batter and struck him out to end the inning. Looks to continue to stay hot here. That one's fouled out of play for strike 2. West has done very well so far in the first 2 batters. Let's see if he can finish it out this one. Outside, 2-2. Here's the 2-2 from West. Inside. And Hild forces a full count. Here's the 3-2. In there for strike 3. West gets him looking. So 2 batters, 2 strikeouts for Curtis West. Now facing up Gunnar Gregg. He has reached both at bats with a walk and a double. And that one's going to hit him in the head. And Gregg seems to be okay. Power of helmets. A little bit shaken up. Seems to be walking in a straight line, so I think he's okay. Trainer will check on him just in case. That does rattle your clock a little bit. Happened a couple times to me in high school. And even if it wasn't a fast pitch, it's still the fact that you got hit in the head with a baseball. I mean, it still kind of Puts a little ring in your ear, gives you a little slight, dull, mundane headache. So Greg's going to take his base. He's now reached base 3 different ways. And each of his 3 at-bats with a walk, double, and hit by pitch. Brings up Connor Gephardt. He's been walked in both of his at-bats to start game 2. He's one of 2 batters for the Yellowjackets to not have a hit. Jacob Hill is 0 for 2 with a walk. So each batter for the Yellowjackets has been on base today in game 2. But Gephardt's still looking for his first hit. He had 2 great hits in game 1, 2 doubles with 2 RBIs to go with it. He can make the same kind of damage here. Curtis West now in the stretch. I don't think he has to worry about Greg running, but he might. It's a 1-0 count. That one is up for ball 2. French tried to frame that one up, but really wasn't going to work. It's now a 2-1 count. Or 2-0 count, excuse me. Outside for ball 3. Gephardt might have the green light on the 3-0. He takes it for ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk to Gephardt. So Gephardt, 3 at-bats, 3 walks. It's going to boost his on-base percentage, but kind of kill his batting average. Or at least keep it the same, I guess. Brings up Anthony Silvera Jr. Double in his last at-bat. Still with 1 out here in the top of the 3rd. That one does not find the inside corner. 1-0 count. So it's Greg off of 2nd. Gephardt off of 1st. That one's hit hard to left field, and it will knock it down. Brandt gets there in time for out number 2. Now the Bruins have a chance to get out of the inning without allowing any runs. But it is 2-out territory, and we know what happens when there's 2 outs for the Yellowjackets this game. They've been able to score 9 of their runs. West delivers the Bobek. That one's going to go out of play. Oh, 1 count. Curtis West just 2 strikes away from getting out of the inning. Here's the 0-1. That one gets away from him and goes over Bobek's head. Bobek does get out of the way. There are some batters that will literally just stand there. Don't really like when that happens. 1-1 count. 2 down. West delivers. Inside, almost hit the shoelaces of Bobek. 2-1 count. West delivers the 2-1. That one's hit in the right field. Yeah, and it's out of play. Ends up in the Bruins bullpen after hitting several bleachers. 2-2 count. West can strike out Bobek here and end the inning. Here's the 2-2. Pops straight up in the air. It'll stay in the infield. Medrano tracking it. Medrano grabs it for out number 3. So Curtis West still hasn't given up any runs. We head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Bruins with some work to do.
Leading off for the Bruins, left fielder Zay Bryant.
I think so. Zay Brandt leading off, bottom of the 3rd inning. Was walked in his first at bat and was the run that scored. Swings through that one. Great pitch. It is a new pitcher on the mound for the Yellowjackets. Still can't tell who it is. Even in his warm-ups, he never turned around and put his back towards us. That one's hit in the foul territory. Grabbed by Gephardt for out number 1. Pitcher after that play, we found out, appears to be number 10. That would be Jacob Hild.
Now batting for the Bruins, 3rd baseman Conley Burke.
I have a hard time believing Hild's on the mound. That one's in there for strike 1. He still hasn't turned around. Jacob Hild caught the first game and is a designated hitter to start this 2nd game. That one's in there for ball 1. So hit straight up in the air in the right field. Dehan under it. Dehan catches it. It's 19 on the mound. I knew it wasn't going to be number 10. 19 is on the mound. Tyler Sickmiller, a senior from Leipzig, Ohio. It was very hard to figure out. Sickmiller literally would be facing us at all times. He never turned around. even when he was warming up. So 2 straight flyouts to start the inning for the Bruins offense. Cody Kirkpatrick now up. He flew out in his first at bat. That one's hit hard to center field. Rover coming in, and Rover grabs it. 3 up, 3 down. Very fast first inning for Sickmiller. 3 flyouts in a row, and we're already headed to the top of the 4th.
Conveniently located on the I-385 and just 5 miles from downtown, Courtyard Greenville Haywood Mall Hotel will save you 10% off the best available daily rate. Their on-site bistro serves Starbucks, breakfast, and dinner with a seasonal outdoor pool with a fire pit and grill available. Learn more at Marriott.com.
Leading off for the Yellowjackets, center fielder Mitchell Rover.
Welcome back to the top of the 4th inning. Curtis West still on the mound. He's pitched a quality in a 3rd inning. Quality 1 and 3rd inning. Mitchell Rover is leading off. He's a double and a single. So he has half the cycle. It's just the hardest half to get yet. He's facing a 1-1 count against West. Hard to center field. Carroll's going back on it. Carroll looks to be under it. And he'll corral in for out number 1. Brings up Garrett Long. He is singled in both at-bats.
Now batting for the Yellowjackets, second baseman Garrett Long.
And that one's in there for strike 1. West continues to deal. Good off-speed pitch. Doesn't quite get down in time. It's now a 1-1 count. The sun is setting, and it's casting crazy-looking shadows on the field. Everyone will probably seem to be fine except Gomez at shortstop and Zay Brandt in left field. They'll be dealing with some sun in and out with the shadows. Conley Burke looks to be completely covered by shadows, so I don't think he'll have to deal with any of that. It's a 2-2 count. West deals. Down and out for ball 3. Full count. Three-two to Long. Barely misses an outside corner. And Long will take his base. Bring up Tyler Dehan. 1 for 2 on the day with a strikeout and a single.
Now batting for the Yellowjackets, right fielder Tyler Dehan.
Good pitch in there for strike 1. There are a few people actually getting ready in the bullpen for the Bruins. I think there's 3 out there. And it appears one is Kyle Prouse. I've never seen Kyle Prouse pitch before. This might be something new. One's high and in for ball 1. It's a 1-1 count. In the dirt. 2-1 count now against Tyler Dehan. Dehan, the senior from Henry, Ohio. Follows that one down. 3-1 count. And up and in. So Dehan's going to take his base. Runners now on first and second. 1 down in the top of the 4th inning. Greg Kita up, 1 for 2. Also with a single and strikeout. A lot like Dehan.
Now batting for the Yellowjackets, shortstop Greg Kita.
That one's hit in the gap by Kita. 1 run will come in to score. That was actually a very quality throw. I thought Kennedy was going to cut that one off, but he ended up letting it go through. Made the play at the plate a lot closer than I thought. But it scores nonetheless. It's 11-1.
Now batting for the Yellowjackets, designated hitter Jacob Hill.
Jacob Hild, one of 2 batters for the Yellowjackets without a hit in this game. 0 for 2 with a walk, pop out, and strikeout. Looks at strike 1 in. 0-1 count. Still 1 down. Score is now 11-1. Good breaking ball by Curtis West. Hild fouls it off. The 0-2 from West. Hit sharply, knocked down by Burke at third base. And Hild's going to get there in time. So now the bases are loaded with 1 down. Another chance here for the Yellowjackets to grow their lead even more.
Now batting for the Yellowjackets, third baseman Gunnar Gregg.
Gunnar Gregg has gotten on base 3 different ways in his first 3 at-bats. Good pitch by Wes for strike 1. He's been hit by a pitch, walk, and he's also hit a double. The 0-1. Down in the dirt, good block by French. Keeps the runners at their bases. The 1-1. Hit. Will that get through the infield? It will. That one's going to score 2 more. And Gunnar Gregg with a single and 2 RBIs, and the lead is up to 13-1. And Coach Kyle Morrison's going to come out. It appears we're going to have a pitching change. So with the busy week coming up in Bruin Nation, especially with the men's basketball team at Nationals in Minneapolis, Bruin Nation should check out the Bruins website for all the latest information on the BJU Bruins. You'll be able to see results of games, feature stories on players, coaches, and so much more. That's bjubruins.com. We'll be back after the pitching change.
Now batting for the Yellowjackets, first baseman Connor Gebhardt.
Back from the pitching change, it is Kyle Prouse on the mound for the Bruins' first appearance on the mound this season. Good start for him, throws a strike. Trying to figure out, this may be his first pitching appearance of his career. And the 0-1 count from Prouse inside for ball one. The 1-1 from Prouse, still one out. Allen's hit high. Shallow right. Miscommunication, that one lands. And it'll be a force out at second base, so the Bruins do get an out of it. Medrano had a far way to run backwards. Gonzalez had a far way to run in. And neither one of them got there. But it was because it was so shallow that they were able to throw a runner out at second. So there's two down. Now runners on the corners.
Now batting for the Yellowjackets, left fielder Anthony Silvera Jr.
Silvera Jr. up. Flew out in his last at bat. Has a double on the day. That one's inside. Nearly clips Silvera Jr. It's for ball one. The 1-0 from Prouse. It's a good off-speed pitch in there for strike one. And it does appear that this is the first career pitching appearance for Kyle Prouse. His third season for the Bruins. Here's the 1-1. Off-speed pitch, doesn't get back inside in time. 2-1 count. It's now 3-1. From Prowse to Silvera Jr. Turned on too early by Silvera Jr. Hit foul down the third base line. Now it's a full count, 2 outs. Gephardt will have a head start at first base. Here's the 3-2. And Silvera Jr. will take a free base. Now the bases are loaded with 2 outs for Tim Bobeck. 1 for 3 in the game. Single, strikeout, and pop out.
Now batting for the Yellowjackets, catcher Tim Bobeck.
Bruins can get an out at any base. Hit sharply, and Burke's going to take it himself to third. And they're out at the top of the 4th inning. It is 13-1, headed to the bottom of the 4th.
Number 28, Sam Gerhardt.
Sam Gerhardt up for the Bruins to start the bottom of the 4th inning. Hits that one in the right field for a leadoff single. It's going to bring up Malachi Major. So with the big deficit, the Bruins are putting in all the possible bench players they can.
Malachi Major.
Major's batting in place of Angelo Gomez. Matt Carroll's still on deck. Going to check Sam Gerhardt back to first base. Sigmiller's still on the mound. Big hit by Major. That one's going to go foul. One of those, if it's fair, it's gone, but he turned on it too early. Now an 0-1 count. Sigmiller delivers. That one's going to hit Major. So the first 2 runners get on for the Bruins to start in the bottom of the 4th inning. Mac Carroll up.
Now batting for the Bruins.
No outs, 2 runners on.
Mac Carroll.
Bruins with a chance here to make a tiny little dent. And 13-1 deficit. Positive thought of the day. The Bruins came away with a great win in Game 1. And now players that don't get to play a lot are playing in Game 2. Lots of growth going on for Bruins baseball. 0-1 count against Carroll. Carroll struck out in his first at bat. Here's the 0-1 from Sickmiller. And there's going to be a pitch clock violation. It's going to be a 1-1 count. Major off first, Gerhardt off second. Here's the 1-1. Outside in the dirt. 2 on the Carroll. Matt Carroll, talented freshman for the Bruins. Facing a 2-1. Hits that one straight up the middle. Gerhardt might be looking to score. Gerhardt's going to get waved around. He's headed home. And he will score. Matt Carroll gets an RBI single. Still none down in the bottom of the 4th inning. Bryson French now up for the Bruins. Still none down. Malachi Major now leading off of second base. Carroll leading off of first base. French was walked in his first at-bat. This is only his second at-bat in the 4th inning. Whereas most of the lineup for the Yellowjackets have already had 4 at-bats this game. But again, big chance here for a tiny dent in this big deficit. Long keeping Malachi Major close at second. Sickmiller delivers. That one's in there for strike. It's a 1-1 count. Elijah Medrano is on deck. He was also walked in his first at-bat as well. Outfield is shallow. If French decides to turn his power on, he has power. It doesn't look at face value like Bryson French can just nail one over the wall, but he can. I've seen it. Comes out of nowhere. It's like Jose Altuve kind of power. It's a 2-1 count. Sickmiller delivers, and that one's going to be outside for ball 3. Hitters count now for Bryson French. Gonna look to line one here. Here's the 3-1. That one's up in the air. French is going to take his free base, and he politely puts his bat down. Usually you see guys tossing their bat over towards the dugout, and he just puts it down like a nice, polite guy. Medrano now up with the bases loaded. There might be a pitching change here for the Yellowjackets. There will be a meeting on the mound. So everyone will come in with Medrano due up. And it looks like Mannix Crawford will be on deck, batting for Sam Gonzalez. And so with Bryson French reaching first base, he'll have Gabe Gerhardt run for him. So just in case you guys are watching on the stream, and you say, that guy already ran, he was just on base. Well, twin brother now in, Gabe Gerhardt on first base, after Sam Gerhardt came in to score. Elijah Medrano up with the bases loaded. Still no outs. It's a 13-2 ball game, but I guess there's a lot of time left that the Bruins can come up with something big here. That one's high and outside for ball one. It's a 1-0 count. Medrano rips one to the outfield. That one's going to get through. And Carroll's going to come home. It gets past the left fielder. In fact, that might clear the bases. Gearhart's going home. And that's going to clear the bases. Medrano's going for three. Medrano's going to get there in time. Good heads-up base running by the Bruins. There are still none down here in the bottom of the fourth inning. It's a 13-5 ball game, and Medrano's on third. This would be a miraculous comeback if somehow the Bruins can keep this going. Mannix Crawford now up for the Bruins. Batting in place of Sam Gonzalez. That one's in there for strike one. Crawford's bat struggled early in the season. He's batting 120 on the season. Has a great arm in the field, though. Started the first few games at shortstop. A very defensive-minded player, but a chance here to be an offensive force and bring the Bruins back within 7 runs. That one was a half swing. He wasn't sure if he wanted to swing on that or not. So now he's facing a 1-2 count. Looks like David Twitty's on deck. So it's a whole new batting lineup for the Bruins, and it's worked so far. Here's the 1-2. And Mannix Crawford whiffs through that. And finally, the Yellowjackets get the first out of the inning. Now we see David Twitty batting in place of Zay Brand.
David Twitty.
Sickmiller delivers strike one. Twitty hits it out of play. And it's quickly turned to be an 0-2 count. So Sickmiller looking for 2 fast outs after giving up 4 runs. Twitty, that one's going to be a hard play for Sickmiller. Can he make the throw? He can. Wow. Good job adjusting at first base by Gephardt. And there's 2 down now in the bottom of the 4th inning. David Medina is batting in place of Conley Burke. Medrano's still on third base.
Now batting for the Bruins, number 4, David Medina.
That one's out of play. Medina, good eye. Being patient, stays away from the high and outside pitch. 1-1 count. Medina turns on it. That one's really high in the shallow left center. 2 people are there. And it looks to be Silvera Jr. squeezing it. Finally, for out number 3, the Bruins do make that dent that we were talking about in the big deficit. We head to the top of the 5th inning. It's 13-5. So obviously, we're back here in the top of the 5th inning, and obviously with all the new at-bats and pinch batters, we have a lot of defensive adjustments. David Medina's at third base. Mannix Crawford's at shortstop. Elijah Medrano's at second. I believe that is Sam Gearhart at first. Prouse is still on the mound. Malachi Majors in right field. Matt Carroll's still in center. And I can't tell who's in left field. It's just simply too far away. That one's hit into the backstop. I hope that was as clear as I could possibly get. I knew I flew through those, but there is a game going on. There's even a new batter, Dylan Barger, who's batting for the Yellowjackets right now. Prouse delivers the 1-2, and that one almost cut back inside on Barger, but it's a 2-2 count. Here's the 2-2 from Prouse. Got him swinging. Barger goes down. And now Garrett Long is up to bat. Long has reached base each of his first 3 at-bats with 2 singles and a walk. That one will be a 3rd single. Have a night, Garrett Long. On base percentage and batting average is soaring tonight. Brings up number 25, new batter. For Defiance, Jacob Davis. He's batting in place of Tyler Dehan. Pretty sure this is Jacob Davis's first at-bat of the season. He's made 5 appearances and has scored 2 runs, so I'd assume he was a courtesy runner at some point in time. David Twitty's in left field for the Bruins. That is the one I could not see. The 0-2 from Prouse. Struck him out looking. Davis didn't like the call, but he found that corner. There's 2 down now on the top of the 5th by 2 strikeouts by Kyle Prouse.
Now batting for the Yellowjackets, shortstop Greg Keita.
Greg Keita, 2 for 3 in the game, 2 singles and a strikeout. Garrett Long leading off of first base. 2 down in the top of the 5th. That's in there for strike 1. I think tonight might convince Coach Morrison to put Prouse in the rotation. He's doing really well. And he has quite the arsenal of pitches. It's not like he's throwing all fastballs either. Here's the 1-1. That one, that's an announcer jinx at its finest. That one gets way past Bryson French. And Garrett Long goes on to second base. Here's the 2-1. That one gets away from French. French just didn't squeeze it. And Long goes to third. Three-one count. Prowse against Kita. And that one's down for ball 4. So Kita will take his base. Runners now in the corners with 2 down. New batter. Andy Yoder.
For the Yellowjackets, number 31, Andy Yoder.
Not the first time we've seen Yoder today. But now he gets a chance at the plate. That one's in there for strike 1. The 0-1 count from Prowse. That one doesn't quite find the outside corner. It's a 1-1 count. Here's the 1-1. That one finds the outside corner. 1-2 count. So now Prowse 1 strike away from getting out at the top of the 5th without allowing any runs. Here's the 1-2. In the dirt, good block by Bryson French. Now 2-2. Prowse delivers. In the dirt, good block by French again. Now a full count. Barely tipped by Yoder to stay alive. Kita gets the head start going the second. Full count, 2 outs. That one does not find the outside corner, so Yoder will take his base. Bases are loaded with 2 down. And now we're seeing number 8, Blake Bowman.
Now batting for the Yellowjackets, number 8, Blake Bowman.
Bowman started game 1 on the mound and now gets a chance to hit here tonight. He's batting in place of Gunnar Gregg. The 1-0 count. Down under another block by French. All the Bruins need is 1 more out. The 2-0 from Prowse. Down the first base line, it will be foul. Bowman swings through the 2-1 pitch. It's now 2-2. So again, Prowse 1 strike away from getting out of the inning. Here's the 2-2. Off speed, doesn't get it back in. Got away from Prowse a little bit. Another full count. And the runners will get a head start all the way around. That one's ripped, but fouled down the right field line. I mean, by the time the pitch gets there, each runner's basically at the next base. It's the beauty of a full count, 2 outs, bases loaded kind of moment. Prouse delivers again, and that one's going to hit him. So Bowman's going to take his base. Everyone will get a free base all the way around. It's a 14-5 ball game. Still 2 outs in the top of the 5th inning. Connor Gephardt still looking for his first hit of this game. 3 walks and a fielder's choice. That's quite the weird game from the plate, especially after the one he had in the first game, 2 doubles. That one's in there for strike 1.
Now batting for the Yellowjackets, number 13, Connor Gephardt.
Here's the 0-1 from Prouse to Gephardt. Good pitch. I think Gephardt wants that one back. He could have turned on that and sent it a long way. But now it's an 0-2 count. Prouse is ahead in the count again. Here's the 0-2. Grounded. Near the Yellowjackets dugout. It's funny watching a group of baseball players jump out of the way from a ground ball. That's usually routine in the field. It's just the fact that it's at them standing still with no glove makes all the difference. 0-2 count again. And that one goes up for ball 1. With a 1-2. Too far outside for second ball. Each of the last 3 at-bats, Prouse has gotten ahead in the count and then just lost them. Needs to get focused again here. Here's the 2-2. That one is rocked but out of play. Turned on way too early by Gephardt. If he was back on his foot just a little longer, that thing would have been sent to the moon. Here's the 2-2. Gephardt swings at it again. That's right at the bullpen. Another hard hit ball foul. And the battle continues between Gephardt and Prouse. Here's the 2-2. A little too far outside. It's a full count again. Prouse delivers. Down in dirt. Gephardt will take his base for the 4th walk of his night. Lead back up 15-5. Time is called. Umpire needs more baseballs, and Coach Rulapal will come talk to Kyle Prouse. It's Anthony Silvera Jr. that is due up after this quick timeout. So after the quick meeting, Prowse will stay on the mound. There are 2 people warming up in the Bruins bullpen. Anthony Silvera Jr. up again.
Now batting for the Yellowjackets, number 22, Anthony Silvera Jr.
Silvera Jr. looks at the first one. That gets passed momentarily, but French gets on it. And the runners return. Here's the 1-0. Now 2-0. Prowse is starting to struggle to find the strike zone. And that one's going to be a 4-pitch walk for Prowse. Another free base and free run for the Yellowjackets. I think that one's going to take us to a pitching change. It will. So Kyle Prowse's night on the mound is over. He did a very good job for quite some time. But as he's getting tired, the ball got away from him just a little bit. So we're going to have a pitching change. FCI Agency is an insurance broker that provides auto, home, life, and business insurance. You have enough choices to make, so make one that always gets you the best rate. Check them online today at fcisc.com. We'll be back after the change.
Now pitching for the Bruins, number 11, David Chappell.
Now batting for the Yellowjackets, number 7.
David Chappell is back on the mound for the Bruins. It's Tim Bobeck that he's facing at the plate. Chappell's first appearance tonight was in Game 1 where he walked and then hit a batter. So he's hoping to redeem himself here in Game 2. Here's the 0-1. Hit up out of play. Nearly hit our camera after hitting the bleachers. Would have shut down the live stream. What will we ever do? 0-2 count. Chapel to get out of the inning. Hard grounder. Good stop by Medina. Medina throw to first. Not in time. That was a great defensive play by Medina at third base. But the throw just not to first base in time, so Bobek's going to reach and get an RBI single. Brings up Barger again.
Now batting for the Yellowjackets, number 20, Dylan Berger.
Barger in his first at bat struck out. That one was foul, tipped down into the dirt. 0-1 count. Chapel the 0-1. Swung through, now an 0-2 count. The 0-2 from Chapel. Oh man, that hit off that part of the bat that just stings your hands when you hear it. So now it's an 0-2 count again. Chapel delivers in the dirt for ball one. Here's the 1-2. Gets him swinging. And the top of the fifth is over. Bruins have work to do again. We head to the bottom of the fifth inning. The score is 17-5. Welcome back to the bottom of the fifth inning. Jacob Highsmith
Bruins, number 21, Jacob
batting in place of Cody Kirkpatrick. Demarius Taylor now on the mound for the Yellowjackets. First pitch is down in the dirt. Appears to be Silvera Jr. now at third base. Highsmith Jr., first hit he sees. That one's over the head of the center fielder. And Highsmith's going to have a leadoff double. There have been a lot of defensive changes for both teams. We're going to try to get them to at least a little bit at a time. So Vera Jr.'s at third. Kita still playing shortstop. Bobek still catching. Long is still at second base. Gephardt still at first. It's Barger in center field. Davis in right field. Gerhardt fouls that one back. And Bowman is in left field. That one's fouled back into the net. So Highsmith off of second base. And now it's 1-2 count. The 1-2 from Taylor. Hard hit by Gerhardt. That gets under the glove of Kita. And Highsmith's going to take third. Runners on the corners to start the bottom of the fifth inning. Sam Gerhardt 2 for 2 with 2 singles. Brings up Malachi Major. Major was hit by a pitch in his first at bat.
Now batting for the Bruins, number 16, Malachi Major.
Devontae Brown is due up for the Bruins. He'll bat in place of Matt Carroll. That one is hit straight up in the air by Major. Will that stay in? Oh. That stayed in barely, and that made it very hard for Bobek to bring that one in. He brought it in originally, hit the glove, but couldn't stay in. The timing on that is really odd when you can't tell if that's going to stay in the yard or not, especially with a high net like that. So Major has some new life. It's a 1-2 count. That one's down in there. Good block by Bobek. Two. Good rip by Major. That one is going to get in the gap. Gerhardt's going to take 3. And runners on the corners and an RBI single for Malachi Major. Highsmith came in to score. And this looks a lot like last inning. Devontae Brown. They're going to keep it going for the Bruins.
Now batting for the Bruins, number 34, Devontae Brown.
Devontae Brown's only had 2 at-bats all season long. This is his 3rd on the season. That one's strike 1 on the outside. 0-1 count. Off-speed pitch. Brown did go, and now faces an 0-2. Time for Brown to battle. Runners on the corners, none down in the bottom of the fifth. Off-speed pitch makes Brown wait, and Brown looks at strike three. Great pitch by Taylor.
Now batting for the Bruins, number 15, Bryson French.
Brings up Bryson French. He and Medrano are the lone starters still in the game here tonight for the Bruins. That one's hit straight in the air. And that one was so close. I was going to go over on that, but I nearly tugged my headset out of the soundboard. I'm still plugged in. We're good. I thought that was it. I thought I was going to come a little bit farther. That one's ripped, but right down the line. Silvera Jr. gets it, and Gerhardt gets back to third base in time. 2 down. Runners still in the corners for Elijah Medrano. Off-speed pitch does not find the strike zone. It's a 1-0 count to Medrano. Medrano, grounder. That one gets through. It's an RBI single for Elijah Medrano. After Gerhardt scores, Malachi Major to second. Brings up Mannix Crawford. Struck out in his first at bat. And now Major off second, Medrano off first. 2 down in the bottom of the 5th inning. Crawford looks at that one in. Good eye. It's a 1-0 count. Bruins are back within 10. Medrano, a monster lead at first base. Crawford, that one's down the line, but goes foul. Well hit. One count from Taylor coming up. Checking back Medrano, and they're not going to get him. Medrano somehow gets under the tag. That was a great defensive move by Taylor and Gephardt. Almost makes Medrano pay for leading off so far, but it's not going to stop him from doing it again. Swung through by Crawford. 1-2 count. That one's inside, blocked by Bobick. 2-2 count. Crawford stays alive with that grounder. Foul. Two again. That one finds the outside corner. Strike 3, out 3. So we're headed to the top of the 6th inning, 17-7. Actually, it appears that they're going to play a mercy rule here in game 2. It's honestly smart for both sides. With such a lead heading into the 6th inning, this preserves pitchers' arms for the upcoming weekend. So Defiance College is going to get game 2, 17-7 to split today's matchup. Bruins get game 1. Yellowjackets get game 2. The Bruins are headed to Alice Lloyd College this weekend in Johnson City, Tennessee. My name is Trent Goldsmith signing off for now. We'll be back next week, March 21st, when Toccoa Falls College comes to Conacy Park to take on the Bruins. My name is Trent Goldsmith signing off for now. Have a good night, Bruin Nation.